The cheetah, the most enigmatic of big cats. This 2018 documentary nearly blew my mind. When two cheetah mothers formed an alliance, you'd never guess what sparks would fly. Typically, adult cheetahs are solitary and aloof loners, but these two females defied convention. They teamed up in an unprecedented move, co-raising 9 cubs, something almost unheard of in the cheetah world. And when one mother disappeared, the other didn't abandon the pact. Instead, she fought tooth and claw to raise 4 cubs that weren't even hers. Statistically, 80% of cheetah cubs don't survive to adulthood, yet this mother single-handedly raised all 9. Creating a miracle without parallel. Welcome to this episode of the Cheetah Mom Alliance. The story unfolds in Samara, South Africa, once human farmland, now reclaimed by nature, a paradise for wildlife. Countless species thrive here, including cheetahs, once nearly extinct, now flourishing again. This 8-year-old female, Felly, is not just the queen of this territory, but also a seasoned and glorious mother. She's raised 3 litters of cubs, and now has 5 3-month-olds, 2 females and 3 males. Right now, they're like a bunch of kittens. The female cub with a bullseye pattern on her hind leg is named Anaya. She's the big sister of the cub nursery, already showing leadership traits. Her siblings are her loyal followers. The little ones are brimming with curiosity about the world, eager to explore. Except for Lucy, a timid, clingy, mama's girl, who always sticks close for cuddles. But Felly is a strict mother, never spoiling her cubs. As the family's pillar, she must maintain authority at all times. Yet Felly doesn't know that not far from her territory, a new cheetah family is quietly rising. This 3-year-old female, Ina, recently gave birth to 4 cubs, becoming a first-time mother. Her cubs arrived a month later than Felly's. But their relationship isn't so simple. 3 years ago, Felly's territory was attacked by lions. Though she lured the males away, most of her cubs didn't survive. Lions kill cubs not for food, but to eliminate future competitors. Returning, Felly witnessed the tragedy and launched a crazed counterattack on the lionesses. Then, a faint cry echoed. A single female cub survived, Ina, the only one from Felly's second litter. At 18 months old, Ina parted ways with Felly to forge her own path, vanishing without a trace. Yet 2 years later, she returned with 4 cubs, perhaps assuming Felly had died of old age. Since wild cheetahs rarely live past 8, she came to reclaim her birthplace. But to her shock, Felly was alive, well, and also raising a litter. The gears of fate began turning. One morning, Felly took her cubs to patrol. Managing unruly kittens isn't easy, especially Lucy, the runt who kept lagging. Anaya, the leader, doubled back to find her, risking being left behind herself. Felly wouldn't wait. Keeping up was part of the test. But this time, she halted, face to face with Ina, also out with her cubs. It was their first reunion in 2 years, but no warmth followed. They saw each other as threats, hissing fiercely until the cubs scattered in fear. The brief clash left chaos. The cubs, confused by the nearly identical mothers, couldn't tell who was theirs. Their scents and calls were too similar. Anaya and Lucy, returning late, mistakenly rushed past Felly to Ina. After 10 minutes of calling, Felly left with most cubs unnoticed. 2 had followed Ina. Ina's cubs were all male, so she recognized the strays weren't hers. She ignored them but didn't threaten. Her eldest son, Blue, however, tried to drive the ants away, unwilling to share territory. Realizing their mistake, the sisters hid in bushes as night fell. With lions and jackals nearby, they bravely rejoined Ina's group, safer there, despite Blue's hostility. Could they truly belong? The next morning, Ina did the unthinkable. She nursed the two strays. Overnight, she'd accepted them, granting them a chance at life. Compared to Fella's efficiency, Ina was slower, gentler, a relief for Lucy, who no longer feared being left. But Ina had a fatal flaw. Her right eye, blinded in an accident, weakened her hunting skills. 4 cubs were already a struggle. Now with 6, hunger loomed. Her impaired depth perception made hunts longer. Lucy, anxious during waits, would cry, forcing Ina to abort missions. Failed hunts piled up. Meanwhile, Felly thrived with 3 cubs, hunting every 2 days, even ostriches for variety. After a week, Ina snapped. Hungry and exhausted, she returned the sisters to Fella's land. The reunion was icy. But as Ina prepared to leave, Fella's cubs followed her. Felly, powerless, trailed behind. Now, 2 mothers led 9 cubs, a surreal sight. Felly fumed as her cubs flocked to Ina, drawn to her warmth. Even at bedtime, they piled onto Ina, leaving Felly jealous. Had her strictness pushed them away? By dawn, they struck a truce, hunting together. Felly led, Ina guarded the rear. Disciplined, the cubs marched like an army. Spotting blue cranes, Felly tracked them to a waterhole teeming with impulse. Both mothers poised to strike, but Ina misjudged her charge, scaring the herd. Returning empty-handed, she found Felly and the cubs gone, likely spooked by elephants. Frantic, Ina searched in vain. Felly had taken the cubs miles away, perhaps annoyed by Ina's incompetence. Somehow, Felly managed the impossible, raising 9 cubs alone, hunting daily with unmatched skill. Even Ina's runt, Shaka, thrived. Lucy, still clingy, found her place. Most weaklings wouldn't survive, but Felly defied odds. A month later, Ina, still searching, kept missing them by minutes. Without cubs to nurse, her body shifted. She entered estrus again. Shadow, a 5-year-old male, and father to Fella's cubs, caught her scent and courted her. Their tryst could mean abandoning her current cubs, but she didn't know. They were thriving under Felly, learning discipline and hunting tricks, living better than any cheetah cubs before. However, today's target was special, a warden. Even lions avoid these grassland bullies. Their razor-sharp tusks can pierce any big cat's hide. But high risk means high reward. Felly decided to gamble. With a horrific squeal, the queen emerged victorious. Her 9 cubs swarmed in for this rare feast, devouring the meal with gusto, unaware of the price their mother paid. Fella's left leg bore a gaping wound, a death sentence in the wild. Meanwhile, Ina had finished her rendezvous with Shadow. Passing a tree, she caught Fella's scent mark, but this time, she didn't pursue it. Her swollen belly hinted at new life. She'd soon abandon her current cubs. 3 days since the warthog's attack, Felly hid in the brush, recovering. Her cubs went hungry for the first time. Restless and whining, they mirrored her despair. Gritting her teeth, Felly stood, determined to hunt once more before her wound worsened. But searing pain betrayed her, Walking was agony, let alone chasing prey. Then, the cubs understood. They surrounded her like a protective shield, offering silent comfort, yet infection festered. Without nutrients, Feli teetered on death's edge. Without a miracle, she and her 9 cubs would perish. But the miracle arrived. As endangered species, cheetahs warranted human intervention. Vets stitched Feli's wound. The cubs, clueless about these two-legged creatures, watched anxiously until Feli awoke. By then, the humans had vanished, leaving only tire tracks. Feli stood, astonished by her healing leg. Her cubs cheered, Mom was back. But survival remained precarious. Insects were their only meals now. Though recovering, Feli couldn't hunt yet. Starvation loomed. Then, a silhouette appeared. Ina. Pregnant and unlikely to return. She'd followed Feli's scent signals, drawn by the family's plight. She approached Feli, their eyes locking. No words needed. The cubs swarmed Ina with renewed hope. Feli followed, knowing cooperation was their only chance. Ina led. Feli trailed behind, her injuries slowing her. Noticing, Ina inspected Feli's wound, their first tenderness in 2 years. Desperation. With Feli still sidelined, Ina hunted recklessly, a buffalo calf. A fatal misjudgment. Buffaloes weigh a ton, armed with lethal horns. Even lions fear enraged herds. Yet Ina paraded her cubs toward them. The herd leader charged. Ina realized her folly too late. The cubs nearly trampled. Buffaloes saw them as mere kittens. At dusk, Ina found Lucy trembling in bushes. That night, all cubs shunned Ina, nestling with Feli instead. Ina redoubled her efforts, but her blind eye doomed hunts. 2 days of failure left her exhausted. Returning, she found the cubs ignoring her. Dejected, she licked her paws until Ina approached, nuzzling her. One by one, the cubs followed, leaving Feli alone. Ina finally had her cuddle pile. Feli healed steadily but couldn't hunt. When Ina targeted an impala, even Feli watched with hope. This time, Ina succeeded. The family feasted in shifts, no fights, just unity. Within an hour, the impala vanished. Feli's comeback. On day 5, Feli attempted a hunt. Her sprint across the plains, a masterpiece of precision, declared, "The queen is back." Ina witnessed her mother's prowess. The kill fed the entire family, yet Ina didn't join the feast. Their rule, * the hunter eats first, * next dawn, Feli awoke to silence. Ina and 5 cubs were gone. Miles away, Ina led her chosen group, her 3 birth cubs, plus Anaya and Lucy. Feli's dominance had intimidated her. She'd prove herself, or so she thought. Reality struck hard. Her blind eye bred failed hunts. Exhaustion mounted, hunger gnawed. After 3 weeks, she surrendered, tracking Feli's scent to return the cubs. One last hunt attempt ended in humiliation. Defeated, Ina gazed at the cubs from afar, then walked into the mountains, alone. The cubs waited. Night fell. Without an adult, they huddled, vulnerable to lions and hyenas. Meanwhile, Feli strolled with her 4 cubs. Among them, Shaka, Ina's runt, now thrived under Feli's care, his boldness bordering on recklessness. That evening, Shaka strayed, climbing a tree, while Feli's group moved on. Destiny intervened. Lost, Shaka stumbled upon the 5 waiting cubs. After voice recognition, he urged them to follow him home. They refused. Cheetah cubs wait for mothers. But when baboons invaded, Shaka convinced them to flee. Leadership ignited. Shaka led them to Feli's ridge perch. At the sight of 6 returning cubs, Feli froze, then showered Shaka with proud licks. The family was whole again. 9 cubs matured under Feli, becoming elite hunters. Shaka's male coalition would forge a legendary alliance, another story for another day. As for Ina, she birthed 2 new cubs, her burden lighter, her hunts sharper. Evolution wired cheetahs for solitude, but these mothers defied fate with love, shattering the 20% survival curse. That alone was a miracle.